Lightning Rod at Dollywood opened as the world's first launched wooden roller coaster, and also, maybe as the last ever. A few years ago, it became more of a steel coaster, and starting in 2024, it will no longer have a launch. Dollywood just announced this coaster would close on October 30th, 2023, and when it reopens next year, it will instead have a high-speed chain lift. I'm not too surprised this change is coming in light of the continued issues this ride has had, but if you know me, you'll know Lightning Rod's my favorite coaster, so I was a bit nervous at first, but I do think this change is a good thing. I'll explain why in this video. First, a quick recap of this ride's problematic history. Lightning Rod opened in 2016. This will be a record-breaking wood coaster from Rocky Mountain Construction, or RMC. It would not only be the tallest and fastest such coaster, but it would also be the first launched wooden roller coaster. While the coaster received rave reviews, it has been a royal pain to experience, and many of those issues have been attributed to the launch. The ride's original opening was delayed 3 months specifically due to issues with the LSM launch system. This was not only the first wood coaster to have a launch, but it was also RMC's first launch coaster, and the launch system was provided by a third party in Velocity Magnets, who also had never made a launch. In June 2017, the ride's launch was modified and the coaster's run slower ever since. Many stated the ride was trimmed, but that's incorrect. No trims were added after the launch. The launch still accelerates you to the advertised speed of 45 miles per hour or 72 kilometers per hour, but it cuts off sooner, so you crest the first hill with less speed. While this has helped the coaster's uptime, it still has extensive downtime. Along with the launch issues, the ride has also had some structural problems. As a band-aid, Dollywood ordered a lighter lead car for Lightning Rod, and at points, they've run the coaster without a lead car altogether. But the park made a much bigger change going into the 2021 season. 57% of the ride's wood track was replaced by RMC's all-steel iBox track. So Lightning Rod became the first RMC to get RMC'd. This was placed in the first drop, the second half, and for the sake of this video, the launch. This helped improve the ride's uptime, but it still had some operational issues. While the ride is far less likely to be closed for days or weeks at a time now, aborted launches are still common. When this happens, the train slowly rolls back down to the base of the lift. The employees then need to evacuate the train. Once this is done, the ride needs several cycles before reopening. So at minimum, this will cause a 20 to 30 minute delay in operation each time it occurs. The ride also has been operating at reduced capacity this year. The ride frequently has been operating with just one train to limit downtime, but that has resulted in the line moving at a snail's pace. It was so bad early in the season that Lightning Rod was actually limited to just one use even on the unlimited time saver. These issues are why the park has decided to close Lightning Rod on October 30th and replace the launch with a chain lift. There were two theories why the launch was so problematic. One was overheating, two was structural sway, and I think we got an answer from the park. In the video that Dollywood released about Lightning Rod losing its launch, Pete Owens, Dollywood's VP of Marketing and Public Relations, shared some telling information. Take a listen.
We were very aggressive when we built the ride, putting a launch system on a wood coaster which nobody had ever done before. And I think we kind of found out why.
As you heard, the park said they found out why no other park had ever tried to put a launch on a wood coaster. The launch overheating would not be an issue exclusive to a wood coaster, but what was different with this coaster? The wood supports. This suggests the rumored structural sway was the bigger issue for the launch. While the launch track got steel track, the structure is still all wood and has far more sway than steel supports. LSMs require precision to operate properly, and this sway may be enough to trigger a fault. So while it may have been possible to rebuild the launch hill with steel supports, the park decided to go with a high-speed chain lift instead. It's worth knowing this had chain lift, not cable lift. I'm surprised they didn't go with the latter considering how quickly these work in rides like Skyrush. But assuming RMC is the one renovating the lift hill, they have never ever done a cable lift, which is why they may be going with more familiar technology with a chain lift instead. Thankfully, there are chain lifts out there capable of fast accelerations. Just look at Tornado at Bakken, which is so fast that it's basically a launch. The park says Lightning Rod will crest the first hill at 13 miles per hour or 21 kilometers per hour, and from that point forward, the ride experience should mostly remain the same. The park promises the coaster will still hit its advertised max speed of 73 miles per hour or 117 kilometers per hour. And I agree with that statement. Because of how early the launch cuts out, you crest the first hill very slowly, so it shouldn't be too hard for a chain lift to mimic those speeds. And once you crest the main drop, Lightning Rod is completely out of control and has more than enough speed to complete the layout. And with the chain lift likely throwing less sensor issues than the launch, the park will be able to run the coaster with 2 trains more frequently. This will allow the line to move faster. Another important part of Dollywood's announcement is that Lightning Rod will receive 2 all-new trains for the 2024 season. The original trains were designed with a launch in mind, which resulted in additional weight. These new trains should be lighter, which will also put less wear and tear on the structure, which has been an issue in the past. The one potential con with this is the lighter trains may have less momentum through the layout. I don't think the coaster will be a valley risk per se, but it may have a bit less speed through the second half. I hope that isn't the case, but only time will tell. Lightning Rod is currently my favorite coaster, so at first, I was really bummed to hear it would lose one of its signature elements, but upon thinking it over, it's most likely a positive change. I enjoy Lightning Rod's launch. It's a cool sensation overcoming gravity and being propelled uphill. It induces some nice positive G's, much like the launch on Incredible Hulk coaster. And is it better than a chain lift? Absolutely. But objectively speaking, it's one of the weaker parts of the ride. It's good, but the rest of the layout is exemplary. If you take away the launch, Lightning Rod is still an elite coaster. The ride still has incredible pacing, a special setting on a hill, and powerful airtime. So if losing this launch means that Lightning Rod is open consistently, I am all for it. I have seen this coaster close for the day in half my visits to Dollywood. I always feel a nervous sensation in my stomach approaching this park, assuming I'll see this coaster listed as closed. While Dollywood is still a great park even without Lightning Rod, this is far and away the park's best attraction, and it really stings seeing it closed. And on the days it is operational, I have frequently seen it run with just 1 train. This has made time saver a necessity most days to marathon this coaster because it routinely has waits exceeding an hour. So it has always been a miserable coaster to experience even if it's open. So in summary, Lightning Rod is closing on October 30th, 2023. When it reopens in spring of 2024, its launch will be replaced by a chain lift. While this will slightly worsen the start of Lightning Rod, everything after the drop should feel nearly identical, and this should result in improved reliability and throughput. So those are my thoughts on the changes coming to Lightning Rod in 2024. What are your thoughts on the launch being switched with a chain lift? Are you a fan of this change? Or do you think it'll hurt the ride experience too much? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.